Hey Chrissy, it's Colin. Sorry it took me so long to get you this video. We have been really grinding pretty hard on this iAudit app, and we have a bunch of customers in it now. I wanted to show it to you because we just released the secondary piece of it, which was something you were interested in. I'm going to do a really fast overview of it because I know it'll make perfect sense to you. But a couple quick things. It's web-based, right? It's connected to your data relays, different than your PCC like marketplace apps. We can do marketplace if you'd like. We prefer data relay because it's faster and it gives us a little more info, but we can do it either way. So what it does is it creates an audit based on multiple things. I'm going to go into settings real fast, and under audits, you can create an audit based on admission date. So maybe you have a 24-hour, 72-hour, 7-day, 14-day. I can have those 4 audits. And every time you get a new admission, it's automatically going to create an audit. And I'll show you one in a minute. I can create one based on a discharge. There's a couple things you want to make sure are done when they discharge. You can even do these in advance. So you can do a couple things like that if you're putting a discharge date in advance. I can do order type. So if I pick an order type, here's all my orders, and I can go through and actually pick, when there's this certain order, I want an audit to happen. Here's the one I think you like is the psychotropics, right? So you hit that. You can pick any of these are my custom ones in PCC, but I could say every time there's a, antidepressant, well, I'd probably do this one. It's going to create an audit, and I can do it for all my buildings or just certain ones. I can also do it for risk management. Oh gosh, every time there's a fall, right, I need an audit done. Now let me show you the audits. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to go and look at the audit. So I'm going to pick this resident here. You'll see in this resident, this is a demo resident. This is a 24-hour, so they just got admitted, it looks like yesterday. And these are all the items in the audit. I'm going to change this to show all because there are 56 items in here. 24 it got automatically. Things like diet, right? It pulls that automatically. You'll know it can do it if there's a PCC icon right here, and that means it's going to pull it from the chart and automatically do it. You can put audit items, anything you'd like. So I'll show you how you set one up real fast, but you can see here, these are all the audit items. These red ones are not done. So it is waiting for those to be done. And once it's done, it'll clear that. So you have like a UDA right here. Once these are done, it'll clear it. It'll show you the completed date and the user that did it. So you can see, oh, this user at the building did it, and you'll know who that is. And you'll see there's a bunch of stuff. Obviously, this is all fake data, but you get the idea here. So when you're setting up an audit, I'm going to go back into settings. I'm going to go back into audit. Let's say I want to add, this is my 24-hour audit. I want to add an item. I can make the audit item mandatory or not. Sometimes an item isn't mandatory. Maybe it's linked to another thing. It's a smoking assessment. Well, they don't smoke. Okay, great. Then you don't need to make it mandatory. You can also manually approve it, which means it's not connected to PCC. It might be something like double check the arbitration agreement that the signature is correct, and then you're redirecting them to do that, and then you'll see in the audit, if I go back in here real fast, some that have an approve button. So I would hit that, and then it's going to mark it as approved. I deleted it, but let's see. It's going to mark it as approved, and then that I approved it. So it does that. That's the manual one. So if I go back in here, PCC automation, this is where it connects to your data. So maybe I want it to go in here, and I want it to go into the document manager. Maybe I need to make sure that certain documents are uploaded. I can do that. Here's all my document categories. Maybe it's an immunization. Here's all my categories in PCC. Maybe it's a UDA. Well, here's all my UDAs. I need to make sure these are done. One of them will be done, and then it'll mark it. And then I can tell it, put the assessment date. I want it to show me the assessment status, and then also created by, so that when I save this, it's going to make every time one of these is done for this resident in this admission. It's going to mark it just like that. So you can see you can do, that's job code. You can do multiple items, so I can have it look in, let's say, a UDA and or the care plans or a diagnosis. There's a whole bunch of different stuff you can use in here. Vital signs, right? Maybe it's a simple vital sign. You want to make sure these are done. So you can do that as well. You can have multiple items, and it'll be one or the other. So if you add, let's say, these two items, one's a care plan, one's a UDA, it'll do one or the other. So when the first one shows up, it's going to clear that item. So that's how you set up your audits. Then it's just going to automatically do it every couple of minutes. It's just looking for updates. So that's how the audits work. You can have them all automated. I have a couple customers who they are 100% automated, and what you do is you come in here and you just look for outstanding things, and you go into the chart and you get them done. I have another customer who has some manual things because they want someone to get eyes on certain things. I want to make sure that arbitration is signed correctly, and so they do that as well. Let me show you some of the stuff that I really like. I love this. You can hit missing, and it's going to show you all the things that are missing really fast. So I can just quickly print that out. I can assign items to a job code. So let's say I created some job codes. I did it by job code, but you can do it by whatever you want. Then when I go into my audit items, I can assign each of these to that job code. So like this is an LN, like a licensed nurse would get this item. And then I can say under outstanding, just show me all the things for my CNA that are outstanding, and it's going to show you just those. Or my RNA, right? And it'll do that as well. These are all the items that you need to, print out because there's these items that need to be done. So you can break an item out by job code if you want, or any kind of thing. We just call them job codes. Again, you can have as many audits as you like. I have some admission ones. I have some risk management ones. There's also other features in here. This one just came out, these last three. You can create rules in here. So this is where there's an AI engine in here where you could say when it's this facility, you can autocomplete, or when the value contains this, do this. And you can create some really neat rules in here. There's one I saw for that smoking one. It says if the person's not a smoker, then don't put that assessment on there. And so it'll do that. You can create alerts. So let's say you're doing a UDA as an audit item, and it's UDA fall version 1, and then someone goes and they create UDA version 2 of the fall. This system will check every couple minutes, and it'll say, hey, you have an audit item that only has inactive UDAs, and it'll email you that so you know to fix it, and then it'll do that every hour. You also have this risk management. I love this. This just came out, and so what you can do in here is you can create risks for, these are types, right? So in my database, here are my risk types. And every time there's a 911, I want it to, in the, red, I want it to say, I don't necessarily want to say 911, I might call it level 1 or whatever, because you don't necessarily want an email that says fall with something, right? So you would do that. And then what's gonna happen is I can go in here and I can put all the emails. Every time that there's a risk management action in PCC, it's going to email that out. So it's a great way to do that. And then there's a log in here as well. So that's for your risk. But yeah, that's a real high level. I'd love to, if you want to see it, there's a bunch of reports in here that trend it. If you're doing horrible at collecting certain things in the chart, you can in service, and then you can track it for 60 days to make sure it's getting better, right? I can run reports that show me those things. I can show me the 10 worst things I'm at. Am I getting better at them because I just trained, and all those things? And so it really has a lot of functionality in there as well. And keep in mind, this is the second version of it. There's another one that we're just finishing now that has an AI engine. There's two different modules. There's a non-AI one, and there's an AI one, depending on your company's stance with AI. The difference in the AI is it'll do things like, let's say in here, I have one that says consent to treatment in the document manager. Let's pretend that was the arbitration agreement that I keep using. I could click a little button here. It's going to pop that document up. I could see it right from there, and then I can approve it. It's going to start to learn if it's signed correctly and things like that. So there is a lot of automation in there. It'll connect items too, right? If diabetic, do these things. If non-diabetic, don't add these items. So it'll do a lot of that as well. But super high level, that's it. It does work with your medications. And I reviewed your sheet just a minute ago, all of those things that you had. I think you just had 6 or 7 columns you can easily put in here with the job codes in there as well. You can have as many users as you want in here, super easy, put as many companies as you want. It is locked down to facilities IP. We do have single sign-on. It does have remote access if you need it as well. So, and then corporate, this is just a high level how everybody's doing. You can set up users where you're just going to see your buildings. You can see who's using it the most. You can see compliance, how they're doing, right? I can go in and actually see more about the specific building and get data in here. How many are they complete? How many are late? What's kind of nice about it that I like is, let's say for the admission one, or your med one as well, let's say within 48 hours of that order being placed, you want to make sure, this assessment is done. Well, it's going to mark it as complete if it's, if it comes in late, because you don't want to, bog them down with all this stuff in here. But you can also, once that's done, say, okay, I know we got it in the chart, but show me how many times it was late versus on time. And so it'll track all of that as well. So not only does it tell you that it's done, but you can say, gosh, we got them all in there, but we're always late, and you get in service on that. So that's the iAudit. Would love to show you more. Let me know if you'd want to jump on a call and we can talk through it. But sorry that took so long to get this to you. We just turned on the other audits. So under settings and audits, we just turned on about 2 weeks ago these last items here. So that's you right there with your psychotropic, but obviously you can do risk management and everything as well. Hope you're doing good. Talk to you soon.